Welcome to the Fit Mama podcast, where it's all about gaining your health back as a busy woman and mom, and doing it without sacrificing time with your family or business. Here is your host, mompreneur and Fit Mama health coach, Angela Campbell.
All right, almost there, I believe. Let me make sure. I'm always paranoid. I always love to double, triple, quadruple check to make sure we're in the right group. And we're there, we're live.
Woohoo!
Yay, I'm super excited. I'm excited to get this going. Thank you so much, Sarah, for joining me today. So we're officially live and we're going to get rocking. In today's episode, you guys, of Fit Mama podcast, we have Sarah Paul, and I'm stoked for you guys to hear from her because she's not only amazingly busy mom, she's an entrepreneur of not one business. They have multiple businesses. She pours out to other people on a daily basis. And she went through our program and just made a total transformation that's super inspiring. So in today's episode, you're mostly going to hear from her. But with that said, before we get started in her story, if you're right now in our group already, and you are watching us, say hi. Let us know that you're here. Say hi, Sarah. And if this is your first time, if you're brand new to the group, because I know a lot of people are joining daily, say new. We love to welcome the new people and just and be a part of this community for sure. And if you are catching this later on the podcast, get in our group if you're not there yet. You can literally go to acfitmama.com/Facebook and join. So I also have my phone in my hand because I always check the comments here. So if you have questions as well and you're watching right now, ask them in the comments. If we don't get to them during the call, my goal is that we will. But if we don't, we'll definitely get back. And I know Sarah is a servant person and always open to you guys reaching out to her and asking questions about anything that she may share today. So let's just get into it, you guys. Again, a busy mom. Like you have your son's 5, right? Is he 5?
He is 5. He's actually in the other room right now because I'm working from home today. So yes, busy mama.
Yeah, busy mama, entrepreneur, all the things. And so with that, like the very first question, I'd love to just dive in with you. Tell everybody that's listening today about you and about that. What is your life? What is your world like? How busy you are? We'll just start there.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Angela, for inviting me to join you today. I am really excited to share my story and hope that it inspires somebody out there. I'm a busy mama. I am an entrepreneur. My husband and I own many different businesses. So on his end, we own an audiovisual and technology company. We also own some storage unit facilities. And on my end, I am a health and wellness educator, and I'm also a health and wellness coach. And I work both online and also in person with women, with mamas who are overwhelmed with where to start when it comes to ditching some chemicals from their home and living a low tox lifestyle. Things that I'm really passionate about. I work with women on business coaching, on emotional healing, so healing of past trauma, which is going to be really in alignment with my story today, as well with my weight loss journey and my Get Fit journey too. And just kind of taking it step by step, because I know as a new mom for myself, I started my company about 4 years ago, almost to the day. Tomorrow will be my 4-year anniversary with starting my business. And the reason that I started my business was because before I was a school teacher and a teacher trainer. And then I had our little guy, and he was pretty ill under the age of 1. He had a lot of upper respiratory issues. And I was looking just for something else. I was looking for triggers that were in our home. I was looking for ways to support his little body naturally. And when I was seeking those answers, I was finding a lot of resistance rather than a lot of support. So I work really hard to support just moms that are feeling overwhelmed with where to start, where to begin. I know that you can empathize with that too.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what, and our group is full of them. And so I know if you're not on live now. I know most people catch these on replay, but it's a movement. I feel like there's a lot of us are like on a mission to help the busy, overwhelmed mom, because we've been there. We've been there at one point, and we still have moments like that. Like, I'd be lying to say if we never did. So I love that. So yeah, so go back to before. You can go back as far as you want to, whether it's before the 12-week program, because I remember some of the things you were struggling with there, or even if you want to go back to before that, like where were you before you got everything back on track and you got your health back on the priority list, and go from there.
Yeah, absolutely. So to make it kind of condensed for you, after I had started my own business, I didn't become less overwhelmed immediately because then I had to figure out how to juggle even a little bit more. So I started using some natural things within my family, a lot of essential oils, and lots of other things too. But what I noticed was that they were able to support my little guy's health. And I noticed that they enabled me to sleep a lot better. And I know that sleep is something that is so important. And it is very important on any weight loss journey, as well as any, get fit journey. Sleep is essential. So I was able to, work my way through, navigate motherhood, navigate, being a business owner, being a wife, being a servant of God as well. And where we are at now, after the 12 weeks, is way different than where I was 12 weeks ago. Because what happens, right? You get off track. Life changes happen. So within the past year, we purchased our dream home, which is amazing and a blessing. And I feel so grateful for it. However, with the way that the market was in the past couple months, and still is, at least in Pennsylvania where I live, it's absolutely crazy. Homes are flying off the market. And so what happened was we had a portion of the time where we didn't have a home to live in. We sold our home. We moved into our office and our wellness center. So I had to close down my portion of meeting with clients in person because I was living out of that one room with my husband, our 5-year-old, and our puppy dog. And it took longer than I had expected. So it was about a month and a half. And during that time period, right before Christmas, I reached out to you because I realized I was completely out of control. I was eating out all the time. I was not following any of the advice that I was giving to my clients. I was putting everyone else first. I was putting myself last, and I was completely out of routine. And I feel like when you are so far out of routine and you know the things that you are supposed to be doing, you need someone to help hold you accountable, and you need someone to help you recreate that new routine in order to feel successful. So that's when I reached out to you, because I had just realized I was so far off the track.
Yeah. Yeah. And I remember having our call. I remember our very first call, and you were living out of your office at that point. But you were determined to get life back on track regardless of how long you were going to be there. Because I think a lot of people can probably relate to, like, life is going to always hit us. Life is always going to throw us for a loop. And you were in that phase of, like, there were some serious loops going on. But you're a great example of, getting started is the first and the most important step, no matter what you're going through. And you did it, and you conquered it, moved and all the things. So that's really awesome. So what would you say are some of the best, or like some of the pieces of the program, or the things that we had you do, that you feel like maybe were the most effective for you, or the things that you enjoyed the most, throughout, the whole 12 weeks?
Absolutely. Like I said, when I came to you, I needed accountability. I needed someone to hold me accountable for what I knew I should be doing. It's not as though you were telling me things that I had never heard before, right? I just feel like you need to hear them sometimes from someone different, rather than you telling them yourself. And I also just needed someone to give me what to do. Like I had no time. I was so overwhelmed with the least amount of time that I knew what I wanted to do, but I didn't even have the time or the energy to go and to do all the work to figure out what workouts would be best, to figure out what nutrition wise would be best, to figure out all the different things. So me coming to you, I told you that I just needed it done. I needed it. I did not want to think about it. And I feel as though your program was so intuitive that it was so easy to follow. It was just like, okay, here it is every day. Here's what I'm supposed to do. I just check off the little boxes as as I complete them. And it felt good to do those tasks too. And then second would be the accountability piece between you and also Coach Erica. I feel like someone was checking in with me multiple times a day because that's what I asked for. That's what I wanted. So that if if I wasn't feeling up to snuff that day, I could let you know that. But also if I was just feeling like lazy or overwhelmed, I had somebody kind of poking me so that it was like, okay, get up, get up, go do the things that are going to have you show growth as well. So I feel like both of those things were just so important.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad that you brought that up because I hear it a lot from a lot of women that I speak to as a matter of like, I'm tired of trying to Google and figuring out what works. I just need somebody to tell me what to do, when to do it, because I already have 20,000 other hats that I'm trying to balance. So just having that, and I mean, I'm always transparent too. I have my own health coach, even though I know what to do. I know how to do it. I know I don't want to do it for myself though. It's nice having someone do it and then checking in on you to make sure that you're doing like that. To me is like the glue. And so grateful for Coach Erica and that aspect too, because she's just amazing at that, a lot of things, but that big piece. And having the checklist, I hear that a lot too. So I'm glad you brought that up too. A lot of the women we're checklist people. So it's not just the thing that, hey, I checked it off. It's also a confidence booster. You're building up confidence that you can do it. And most of us entrepreneur women, like just feeling productive feels good. It feels good. So thank you for sharing that, because I love to hear that those are powerful pieces. What is there anything specific that you feel like besides those two, what do you feel like might have been the most helpful to actually get the needle moving? Because one thing I wanted to anybody that's listening right now know that she came into the program how she explained, but she also was around the 130 mark as far as on the scale. Losing weight wasn't a massive goal for her. It was more of getting a routine, getting all the habits, actually feeling better overall, getting consistency back in her life that had to pertain to her own health. And then also she ended up losing over 17 inches, you guys. That's amazing. If you haven't seen her before and after a picture, I'll post it again after this in the group. But so out of all the things, what do you feel like was the biggest needle mover for you to lose those 7 inches? Was it more the nutrition or the workouts or the simplicity, or where do you feel in that answer?
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like it was a couple different things. I feel like one, my water intake, which again, I know is so important, but upping it and being really consistent with that 80 ounces of water a day. I feel like I noticed a difference in so many different things, in my skin, in my digestion, in my weight, and the inflammation within my body, because I really struggle with a lot of inflammation within my midsection specifically. That I lost so many inches just on my waist, my chest, things like that. So I think that was huge. I think that the consistency with the workouts, I mean, I think I only missed like one workout during that entire time period, because I looked forward to them. I looked forward, in the beginning, I dreaded them. I'm not going to lie, but then throughout it, I felt so good that I looked forward to that time for me. And I feel like being consistent with those workouts, and they weren't long. I mean, towards the end, it was maybe a half an hour at the most that I was working out, but they were fun. They were varied workouts. They built on one another. So then I felt successful with them. And I also got to see the growth because every 2 weeks you had me checking in. So you had me checking in with photos, you had me checking in with that fit test to just kind of show myself as well, hey, even though this needle on the scale isn't moving drastically because I didn't lose much weight at all through the entire program.
Yeah.
But when you look at me and you see the photos, you see a drastic difference, very dramatic difference. And I can't even believe that I lost 17 inches. Like, that's nuts to me to still say that, all around my body too.
Yeah. No, I love that for sure. Yeah, water is such and that's obviously why we start on that habit, like because it's one of the most important for every aspect, your digestion, your joints, your skin. Another amazing thing, and I know I expressed this to you whenever I was looking at your pictures, but just the difference in your skin is so visible in the pictures too. And it combination of all the things. So, and those are little things that most people, I don't hear people come to tell me whatever, hey, it's usually I want to lose weight, I want to lose belly fat. It's not always about the skin, but it's an amazing added bonus to the inches. And the thing, yeah, because the scale ended up being 3 pounds down. And there was times where it went up and there was times where it went down and there was times where it went up and it went down. But the key was you were losing inches consistently the entire time. Which if you're in this group and you're listening, like the biggest, that's fat loss. That's how fat loss works. And that's why the drastic changes in her body in the pictures are so prevalent. And that's why pictures are so important too. And we often, as women, don't like to take our own pictures, but they're so powerful. So I love that. So what are some of the habits that you still are doing? What are the habits that you like they've locked in and you're still doing now since the program's ended? I know it's only been a couple weeks.
Yeah. No, water. I have my water sitting right here, so I make sure that I have that. I do a lot of the intentional habits too, like we talked about. Adding different nutritional things. So for breakfast time, making sure that I have like a healthy protein and a healthy carb in the morning time. Also at lunchtime, making sure that you have that healthy carb as well. That was a lot of education for me from a nutrition aspect too, about different things, when I should have those types of things, that all carbs aren't bad, different things like that too. My workouts, I definitely am still working out between 4 and 5 days a week because it just feels good. And any other day I'm moving all the time. I'm outside, I'm hiking, I'm being active with my son, and my body, it feels good. So those are some of the things, and my morning routine as well, like taking that time just for myself and doing my devotion, doing my journaling. And that's very important to me. And that's something that has definitely stuck.
Yay. I'm so glad to hear that because a lot of people think, it's just, we give you workouts and we give you a meal plan and it's so much more than that. For it to really stick and be the lifestyle, it's all those habits to me are even more important. So that you can keep the workouts going, keep the nutrition habits going. So that's really awesome. So awesome. What would you say if someone's watching and they're on the fence, they're like, just on the fence in general, just getting started with anything or maybe asking for help. What would you say to that person that's just sitting there? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I would just say this is your sign. This is your sign right now. Like, I believe that God is constantly giving us signs and we have to be open to receiving them. And this is it. Like, now is the time to get started. You don't have to figure out or know all the things, and you don't have to be the expert. In the case of this program, that's why Angela's here. She is the expert. So you do not need to do the research. You just have to commit. You just have to say enough is enough. My time is now. I am important and I need to be able to be the best that I can be in order to be, the best mother, in order to be the best business owner, in order to be the best wife, in order to wear all those other hats. You have to take care of yourself first. So I feel like the time is now and it's okay to ask for help. I feel like there's also this unrealistic expectation in our society that we as women, do it all and we do it all alone. And that's not the case. I feel like when you are overwhelmed, you need to ask for help, and there's no shame in that. That's what people do. That's what people do behind the scenes that you don't see. All you get to see is, the success stories, and you really don't get to see all the work that goes on behind the scenes and all the help that people have asked for. So don't be afraid to ask for help. It's not a sign of weakness. I think that it's actually a huge sign of strength, which is why, people come to me in my business because they're overwhelmed. They have no idea where to get started. And they know that I've done all the research in advance. They know that I've lived the lifestyle. So they come to me to ask me the questions that I can help to guide them. It's the same exact thing with Angela. She lives this lifestyle. It is evident if you watch her, she is the same person, no matter when you're going to get her, what time of day, on social media, not on social media. And she's an expert at what she does, which is why she gets results.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I'm glad that you said that too. Just ask for help. If you're in this group and you're watching now or later on replay and you are someone that struggles asking for help, put help in the comments, because and if anything, let's have at least just a chat in the messenger to maybe help you feel a little bit more comfortable, because we are the core. We are the moms. We are, whatever hat you wear, which usually all of us wear so many, leader, entrepreneur, business owner, mom, wife. I mean, the list can go on and on and on. And I truly believe, and it took me hitting my personal rock bottom, just being in the unhealthiest version of myself before I finally really just realized I needed help too. It's okay. Like Sarah said, it's more of a strength than a weakness to ask for help. And today's society I feel like makes us feel like it's not okay. And it's okay to invest in yourself, whether it be time or finances or whatever, because the healthier we are, the better we are, the better you show up for everybody else in your life, in your family, and your business. If you want your business to flourish and you want to keep success sustainable, those of you guys that are entrepreneurs in here, it takes taking care of you first, because you can't have sustained, and I learned that the hard way. So that's definitely, I'm glad that you said all of the above. I think so many people that are in this group right now can definitely relate to exactly what you're saying and benefit from everything. And is there anything else about the community here with the group of women that you would love to share, that you've experienced? Maybe one last little word of encouragement for those that are in here.
Yeah, I just think that this community is definitely unique. It's extremely supportive. You're not going to find anything like it. I feel like, Angela, you pump so much goodness into this group, and you give so much away for free. I think that it's fantastic as a tool to be able to invite your friends to come into, to be able to tag them in, to be able to just really kind of, do this together. Because again, it can be lonely when you are, starting from an overwhelmed place and you're just trying to do better. And sometimes you don't have those people around you in real life, like in your every day-to-day life. So this is a wonderful place to just kind of build those relationships, really love into them, and also just use that as an opportunity to better yourself, because I really believe that you are the sum of those who you choose to surround yourself with as well. So take advantage of, all the other women in here who are just striving to grow, because you're not going to find, another community like this.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, and it takes an army, man. It takes an army of everybody in here, and whether you just sit back and watch, or maybe there's some women in here that I haven't had a chance to speak to you yet, but like the biggest cheerleaders in the world. This world needs a lot of that. So, yeah. And what the last thing, how in the world can they find you? Where do they go? I know I'll tag you in this as well, so they can literally, anything specific on a place where they could find you, follow you, or if you're open to them just reaching out and asking questions as well too. Any of the above?
Yeah, absolutely. Anyone can reach out and ask me questions about my personal journey. I'm pretty much an open book, so I share regularly on social media. about my life and about our journey in general. So you can find me on Instagram at Mindful Oil Moments. In addition, I have my business page here on Facebook, which is Mindful Oil Moments. And personally on Facebook, you can find me at Sarah Marie Paul. And feel free to reach out. Feel free to be inspired. You're going to see a lot of health and wellness education. In addition, you're going to see a lot of hobby homesteading because we are starting our dream homestead as we speak. We just got chickens and we're working on our greenhouse and our big garden and things like that outside right now. So I share a lot just about doing things in a very simple, sustainable way when it comes to your health and your wellness as well.
Yeah, I love it. See, you follow Sarah, you guys. I see a lot of her posts and they're very inspirational. And like she said, she's an open book and shares. And I think there's nothing more inspiring to me than seeing other women just share the struggles they've been through, not just the pretty side, but the other pieces that I know so many people can relate to. So again, thank you, Sarah, for joining me today. You're just such a pleasure to be around. And I know so many benefit from you sharing today. So thank you very much, you guys. If you're still listening, say thank you, Sarah, in the comments. And again, I will tag her in it as soon as I hop off. But you guys, she's always there. She's got a heart of gold. Reach out and she can help you in all kinds of ways as well. And we'll see you on the next episode. Bye, guys.